Good afternoon, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay? Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Cool deal, cool deal. So, Izzy, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to time you out. I was trying to mod you, and I had a little technical difficulty. But I'm so happy to see everyone. It's been a minute since I've been live. But um, there's some stuff that needs to be talked about. And I kept like waiting, thinking there was going to be a break in the chaos to actually talk about some stuff. But man, it's been hell of a week. And it's only Tuesday. Hey, J. Marie. Let me say hi to everyone real quick. So, J. Marie, welcome. Brown Eyes Blue, I'm so happy you're here. I haven't seen you in so long. I've missed you. UK Truth Be Told, Momo of Two, Bama Fan. Let me scroll up. Carrie, Pollyanna, Princess Mariposa, Heather, Purple Knights, hello. Levid's here. I saw him earlier. He was the first one. Overachiever, that one. TC Spotlight. TC Spotlight, I'm glad you're here. Not going to be talking about a case today. Going to be talking more about some cases of some smooth talking criminals on YouTube. Hakuna. And to any, let's see, Little Boston. To anyone else watching and not chatting or incognita, hello, welcome. Don't hide though. You guys can come in and chat. I do have a couple of rules though that I want to go over because I've had a little anxiety about doing this stream. Well, parts of it. So, this is a part of my real life. Something that's happened and it affected my real life. It affected me as a person. It changed me a little bit. Um, I'm sure a few people heard a stream that was done last week, Wednesday or Thursday, I can't remember. And the situation that I'm going to be referring to, I don't want any bashing going on of any of these people. Please, I'm still working on getting my mods situated and everything. I've had some that have left and things like that. So I'll get it all straightened out. But please, this isn't a bash session. I'm not one for cat fights. It's not my thing. And that is part of what led us to where we are now. I don't hate this person by any stretch of the imagination. I believe that people come into your life for a reason and a season. And I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that everything has its reason for happening. There is a purpose for everything. So a lot of people know that I used to be kind of like a permanent fixture on Tiffany Marie's channel. I considered her a friend. And it was kind of accidental, that we kind of came into each other's life. I started out on AB's channel, and I still have nothing but respect for him. I know not everybody likes him. I've never had an issue at all. He's always been consistent in the way he treats me. I value his opinion. I think he's a very intelligent person. So I don't want anyone to think that there's any beef between me and him, because to my knowledge, there's not. But apparently there is some beef between me and Tiffany, which led to, and I'm not going to say beef, just kind of separation. We've all seen the division in the true crime community, going back to the fundraiser. I think we can all agree that the true crime community is not what it used to be. I think that this case has, in the beginning, I thought, if Summer could only realize, how her disappearance has brought people together and brought so many other cases and just shady things that go on in the state of Tennessee as well as other states. It kind of brought all that out to the forefront. And now, 10 months later, I feel like this case has brought the worst out of a lot of people. I've seen friendships and relationships and acquaintances and everything just fall apart over differences of opinion. In my situation and what I want to address, and I did not listen to Tiffany's stream last week in its entirety. It ended up being about a fake FBI agent and Jody Sue and that whole situation. What was the tipping point for me was not only was I called a bad friend. I think the snippet that I heard was basically choose your friends wisely, kind of alluding to the fact that she got duped, that I was a bad friend. But what really got me was the fact that Aaron Key's mother ended up in the middle of it. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that she went into the chat and said that her friend Linda, who is also a victim's mother. If anyone doesn't know who Lisa Key is, Lisa Key is the mother of Aaron Shane Key, which is like the very first case I started with. That's like, I have almost a year's relationship with Lisa. We're close. I talk to her about everything. I don't have my mom anymore. I lost my mom in 2010. So along with my mother-in-law, Lisa has kind of stepped in and been that person that keeps me grounded and the person that I can vent to and cry to. And Lisa's heard me cry over this situation. I'm not ashamed to say, yes, what happened with me and Tiffany caused me to shed a few tears. It was a jolt because I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I was a damn good friend to her. I was such a good friend that, when the whole fundraiser thing blew up, I talked to her in the background, that big whole thing with Q. I'm not going to sit there and say that I was the only one there for her and it was all about me, because it wasn't. But I was one of the people there that was there for her. There was another person who she kind of didn't talk to for a few days. And it bothered her. You have to understand, when big things happen like that, when big blow ups happen, we as creators, as tough as we might seem or claim to be, if we have any type of emotion or heart whatsoever, when things um when things happen like that, it gets to us. So I was a friend to her. And when there was another friend that hadn't talked to her for no reason, I'm not saying there was any issue whatsoever. I reached out to that person and said, look, just let her know that you're there. No big deal. That's really all I'm going to say about that. It's not my story to tell. But that was bad friend move number one that I did, right? I was a horrible friend to do that. I was a horrible friend to reach out to her and check on her and make sure she was okay. Yes, crimes have consequences. I have spoken to Lisa, and she feels bad about what happened that day. She feels like she stirred up some stuff, but you have to understand, Lisa, she got the story from Linda. And she believed what her friend Linda said about the fake FBI agent. But we'll get back to that. Um, so I was a good friend in talking her through the fundraiser thing. I told her what I saw happen with the fundraiser on my side of it. And then the whole thing happened, the division was there. Now, because I chose to stand by Tiffany, and there were a lot of people who parted and went over to the side with Q and all them. I've never had any issues with anyone on YouTube except Benny. Tiffany, this is not, I'm not constantly live about you, so just stop. You had your say and talked crap about me being a bad friend, so see ya. I will take your wrench when I get to it. Um, so see, that's what I mean. I'm not for the cat fights. She took my wrench, basically iced me out, kicked me out of her life because Benny gave me a wrench. Okay? He gave me a wrench. My wrench also doubles as a flashlight because that wrench didn't change who I am, but that wrench changed a lot of other people. A lot of people fell in line and quit talking to me because I couldn't handle it in the 5 minutes that it needed to be handled. I tried to explain this. I tried to reach out privately and talk about it. Hold on. Unbelievable. So, whatever. People who just the day before I got the wrench on Benny's were telling me that they just, just love me and blah, 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 always there for you, all that stuff. Um, Quit talking to me overnight. And then more quit talking to me when she went live last week and called me a bad friend. See, I've never told her to get the fuck over herself or to shut the fuck up or anything like that. In fact, the night before all this shit happened, I saw a message from her thanking me for always being there for her. She said, "I'm sorry I couldn't make it to your stream," which happened to be kind of in defense of her. It wasn't about her, but I used a situation that happened to her as an example of the scum shit that Ernie Shell does. The whole meth crotch fiasco. So she sent a message and said, "I'm sorry I wasn't there for you for your stream." And I said, "No big deal. You have real life stuff." I think it was her son's birthday. I wasn't mad about it. We all have things going on in our real lives. I don't expect everyone to be at every stream. It's not a big thing. She said, "But I do feel bad because you're always there for me." So that statement alone is not indicative of someone who's a bad friend. Because yes, I was always there for her. I was always there for her up until the very second that Benny wrenched me. Because when she said that she didn't know anything about me messaging Penny asking her to unblock her, that's a load of crap. There were other people in the voice chat that heard that. But the day that Benny gave me the wrench and everyone turned on me, it was kind of heartbreaking to sit there and see everyone from Benny's group thought that, they had made some headway and people were going to start coming together for these cases and things like that. They were throwing money left and right. Benny got up and sat on her panel for 2 hours. So it took me a minute to wrap my head around Why I just got iced out of this person completely, but she's sitting there for 2 hours talking to him on panel. And then I didn't talk to her anymore after that. The next message I got from her was asking me if I donated money to Candace. No, I've never donated money to Candace. Just because someone gave me a wrench doesn't change my views about them. My opinion's still the same. I still think that Dawn and Candace know what happened to Summer. I think that, shit happens. My opinion didn't change. But that was, of all the things she could have said to me, it was that. This person, claimed to be my friend, said, if you ever need anything, I'm always here for you. If you need any help, let me know. Just a few days prior to this, she had promised, made the offer to Lisa that Lisa and I could go on her panel and talk about her son's case. And then I had to tell Lisa, no, that's not going to happen because you guys, if it's in, don't block anyone, don't block any of Tiffany's mods or anything like that. Because some of those mods, Nana 5, that's between me and Benny. And that's not something that I would even talk about on here. So if that's, you're one of the ones that disappointed me too. Because the wrench that caused everyone to say that I flipped, they're actually the ones that flipped. They're the ones that flipped on me. And for what? And you can believe me, Nana, but it's still not something that I would ever talk about on here. And none of you believed me enough to come ask me what happened. None of you reached out to me and asked me anything. I don't hold anything against any of my former co-mods or my former friends. I don't have anything against them. This was between me and Tiffany. I tried to work it out with her because this wasn't the first time that she iced me out. It was the second. No, I didn't turn on you, KB. How did I turn on you? You've had 2 months to ask me these questions. I didn't turn on anybody. But if you guys can't understand, I am being nice to Nana. If you guys can't understand my frustration, you guys haven't. But here's the thing, Nana, that's a good point. You said that you were disappointed that I went there. Went where? To that chat? Because as far as being disappointed that I was in that chat, we need to all think about exactly how many of us from that group were watching in that chat. My mistake was being a grown ass adult and choosing to comment. But yet there were other people in his chat that same night commenting. I didn't switch up so fast. That's the thing. Just because I go into someone's chat and chat with other people, that's what YouTube's about, is having open discussions, two-sided discussions, tossing around ideas. It doesn't mean you have to like every single person or be best friends with every single person. To me, that's some of the best conversations is when you have opposing viewpoints. Because then you have a conversation going back and forth. This is one of the hardest streams I've ever had to do. I didn't want to do it like this. But I never said anything about her to justify what she said about me the other last week. Taking a wrench from him. Do you think that he wrapped it up in a little bow and handed it to me or had it delivered, no, I don't care about the wrench. I can't be mad about the wrench. You know why I can't be mad about the wrench? Because the wrench showed me who was actually there for me. No one contacted me to talk to me. It was just, that was it. Tiffany says I'm out, and everyone just went right along with it. How was I excited about it? I'm excited about it now because it lets me see the people that really care and the people that don't. Went right. That, see, this is what I'm talking about. In that, when I did that stream about Ernie and Trisha a while back, and I said, um, I brought up like hate bonding and stuff like that. You know, we used to all sit there and criticize how the other side was hate bonding. But then it took me getting that wrench and taking a step back and realizing that that's hate bonding too. You guys were my friends and you iced me out. And I'm okay with that. And so when I did that stream about Ernie and Trisha, I spent that 2 minutes giving a vague description about what happened. I didn't use names. I didn't go into details because I didn't want all the backlash. You know, I didn't want the I told you so's and all that crap. It wasn't worth it. And someone said her name in my chat, and it was blocked by a mod both times as soon as it went in the chat. And if you don't believe that, then the mod who did it is in y'all's Discord and you can ask her. I said I didn't want the name in the chat. It was an understood rule. I don't understand. We're supposed to be doing true crime here. And the things that we're doing to each other on a personal level, victims now, people who have history of different types of abuses are being called horrible names. They're being ganged up on, just all kinds of things. And it was exhausting. It was exhausting. So in that stream, when I made vague references, I had made a statement saying that I started to notice some things about myself that I didn't agree with, and that none of these people that I stopped talking to or would be mean to and stuff like that, they never did anything to me. I still think Ziggy made a mistake with the bones, and I did a stream about it, but I can move past that, and hopefully she won't make a mistake like that again. Benny knows what my issues were with him. This is YouTube. I'm not out there having lunch with him. I don't have to agree with everything he says, but we've all sat in a voice chat watching him, and several of us have said, well, you know, that kind of makes sense what he just said. We don't have to agree with everything that comes out of everyone's mouth, but I do think as adults who are out here being voices for these victims and dealing with people's families, that we do need to maintain, you know, a level of neutrality. If we're going at each other's throats like this constantly, if I were a family looking for someone to represent a family member who had lost their life or who was missing, I don't know. I wouldn't want to come to anyone who is just constantly fighting, you know? Like, it's just, where is the end? And there was a comment I saw on another post earlier, and it really, it hit home. It was very well worded. It made a lot of sense. Hang on, let me find it. Let's see. The very aspect people claim to want to solve in YouTube land of crime are creating immoral crimes and illegal crimes against each other and putting each other's lives in turmoil or jeopardy in some capacity. There's lots of ways to earn income on YouTube. It takes putting on creative thinking cap to create own content that doesn't involve using each other in a vile manner. Actually, creators could do well if worked collectively on coordinating informative, comical, positive, family-oriented material. Mix it up, have member participation. People are desiring to be a part of a tribe. We're social beings. Give subscribers an environment of healthy drama. If at any time in generations of need for joy, support, laughter, belonging, real talk with also a release of tears is right now. That hit home for me. It really did. And that came from, let me see if I can find where it was. I don't remember who wrote that comment. I don't remember which post it was on, but that, that's true. That entire comment was nothing but truth. That is what we're doing. We're going at each other and attacking each other on a personal level. And for what? So I did take a step back and I did dig deep. And I am not too proud to get on here and say, yes, I was mean to people who probably didn't deserve it. It's my fault. I chose to say, and I'm not talking about, I've never done horrible things to anybody on here. But I did, make some snarky ass comments, and I probably talked a lot of crap, you know, behind the scenes about people when I would be mad about situations that really didn't involve me. But at the time, I was defending my friend. I was defending my friend who, when someone gave me a wrench that they don't like, I heard that it was because they were using me to try to get to her. So was that my friend worrying about me or worrying about them? Because they didn't get the wrench. I'm fine with the wrench. Hell, I have a wrench on both of the channels, and I will say it. I enjoy being able to go in chats now, even if it's someone that other people may not like, because I enjoy talking to the viewers and the subs. I'm getting to know people that I didn't get to know before, right? Because I was new and I I broke my rule of getting too close. And AB has said it before. He's like, you don't want to get too close. He always says that. Don't get too close. I got too close. And I was sincere and genuine in letting these people into my life. These people, I shared things with them from my real life, traumatic situations. They know things about my children. Um, so I trusted and I got burned. I did. If she would have reached out to me, because this is what I would have done. Had the roles been reversed, I might have been a little taken aback. I might have been a little hurt. I might have been a little angry. But before I just completely kicked this person who I considered a friend out of my life, I would have reached out and I would have explained my feelings. And I would have said, you're a mod for me and now you're a mod over there. That's a conflict of interest, in my opinion. So for that, it's nothing personal, but I'm going to need to remove you from Discord, and, we'll just see how it goes. I didn't even get that. I got wrenched. I went to Discord, came back. Like, I never even went back in the chat that day. I went to Discord, and then I got booted out and blocked, and then I just didn't even really go back on anything until later on in the day. So it was less than 5 minutes. The text message that Vinny showed of Penny's were around 1:12. It showed her text, or Tiffany texting Penny and saying, "Is this still your number?" That's because when we were in the voice chat, and, I was like, well, I can message her and ask her to unblock you. And she said, yes, can you do that? Because I don't know if I still have her right number. That's what happened. So that's why there was a text message asking if that was still her number. And I'm not coming out to do that. I know she's going to do a stream and retaliate and all of that, and that's fine. I'm not going to respond to that. This is the only time I'm going to talk about it, because I'm not doing the back and forth. Tiffany, regardless of what you think about me, I considered you a friend. And that day you had me up on your panel and you were trying to minimize my feelings, saying that I only got my feelings hurt because I was booted out of Discord. No. My feelings were hurt because you didn't even take the time to have a conversation with me. That's all it was down to. And I understand having a hard time trusting people when people have turned on you. I know that, you've said a lot of people have turned on you. Well, it goes both ways. And when I told you I wouldn't have handled it that way, that's what I meant. Now, what tipped off the strain that happened last week, it was Lady A. Montgomery was in Crafting Through the Lies chat, and she made a comment and said, this is Lady A's sister. After she was on Tiffany Marie's panel last week, she cut herself and she is in the ICU. And then I saw that and I thought, I kind of hesitated. But we've all seen the people who pretend that things like that happen. You guys know what I'm talking about. We've seen it. So I texted Tiffany and I just told her, I said, look, I don't know if you know this. Lady A was in a chat this morning pretending to be her sister, and I told her what the comment said. That was it. I said, I just wanted you to know. I thought maybe she could reach out to Lady A in private and, kind of handle that situation before all the rumors run rampant, because she was basically alluding that Lady A harmed herself because of that stream, which Tiffany was nothing but kind to Lady A on that stream. I will give her credit for that, but the chat was horrible. The chat was awful to her. But then, that same day, Tiffany's on live talking about me. Lady A sitting in the chat saying it's a lie. Well, the screenshot's on my community post. All you had to do was go verify it. I'm not going to lie about something like that. So it just sucks because it wasn't just mine and her friendship that deteriorated. It was mine and several other people's who I've never had an issue with. But, once you're blacklisted, it was always said, you can go anywhere and listen to whoever you want to, watch whoever you want, sub to whoever you want. But there's a disclaimer. Just don't comment, I guess. There was someone in Discord after I got wrenched that said, I don't think it's like that. I think he's playing games. And um, the response was, well, he couldn't have given her a wrench if she didn't comment. Why shouldn't I be able to comment? Why shouldn't I? I literally made a comment saying hi to Brandy B, and I made a comment, I think, about Scott H calling me names, which, wasn't about that. It was, he was mad at me, not because of an issue I had, but because of an issue between him and Tiffany, but I was known as the head bitch minion. So I got a lot of hate for it, and I was okay with that. Scott H still hates me to the best of my knowledge. I don't care. I don't have to go home to these people at night. So when I let someone into my life, that's a big step for me. I keep my circle in real life tight to avoid things like this. And I'm not the only person that this stuff has happened to. And I'm not going to be one that says, oh, everything everyone ever said is true. I've had my own experience with it, and it wasn't a good one. And I'm probably going to have a bad experience after this. I don't care, though, because I'm done with it after today. I'm going to go in anyone's chat I want to, and I'm going to talk and interact with the subs and the viewers, because that's who we're all here for. If we're up here with a channel and we're talking to people about anything at all, from cooking to bathing dogs to crime to art, whatever, we're here for the people. I expect my subs and viewers to be able to go wherever they want, to feel comfortable going in any chat they want to and commenting. I want you guys to do that. I want you guys to get information from various sources. If you're wanting summer info, I know what I've heard, but I don't do kids' cases. I can tell you anything you want to know about Aaron Key and Josh Bohannon and a few other cases in Tennessee. But if we can't, suck it up and get over differences to just be able to go spend a couple of hours interacting with people without having to worry about the bottom falling out, then what's the point? I don't ever want any of my subs or viewers to feel like they have to avoid a chat or, not comment out of fear of being seen. Those people that were in my circle, I loved each and every one of them individually for who they were. That wrench didn't change anything but the color of my name. But nobody bothered to reach out and ask. They just went along with it, just went with the flow. And up until today, I haven't really muttered a word about it. I've talked to a couple of people privately, but nothing like terrible. No one asked me what happened. No one asked me how I felt. No one asked me if my opinions of anything had changed. But I was called a bad friend. So if Benny wrenching me makes me a bad friend, and me not causing a scene in the chat that day makes me a bad friend, then I guess by someone's definition, I'm a bad friend, but not by mine. That wouldn't be enough for me to turn my back on someone who had been a friend to me for 6 months. It just wouldn't. So that's really all I have to say about that situation. And if that wrench will keep people away from me who don't, that aren't there for me, then so be it. When I said something about giving the wrench back, I think the exact words were, the wrench stays, this is YouTube shit. Fine. The wrench stays because this is YouTube shit. And that YouTube shit wouldn't have been enough for me to turn my back on a friend. It just wouldn't. Maybe I'm a different breed of people. But I can guarantee that that's the only thing on the list of bad friends. So, does anyone have any questions about that portion of this? Because I really would rather move on to Arnie Shell. Thank you, Glitter Queen. I try to be a great friend. I fall short. I fall short all the time. I make mistakes all the time. For anyone who I really had no reason to, if I ever didn't even really know you at all and I said crappy things to you, then, I'm sorry for that. I should have taken the time to get to know people as individuals before I just kind of followed the crowd. But my opinions about situations and things from the past, those opinions still stand. There was still damage done, but that's for me and Benny or whoever else to figure out and work out. That's not everything has to be. Everyone has gotten so intense with this whole there has to be receipts. Where's your proof? We don't have to bring every aspect of our life and every conversation we have to YouTube. At what point do we ever get to keep something just for ourselves? We just can't be I'm not going to be just going off on people constantly for no reason. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to make, funny little clips and stuff of Ernie because he's ridiculous. He's a scammer. And if you're going to call out one scammer, you got to call them all out. He's robbing people blind. But it seems his castle is starting to crumble. He's gotten a little too big for his britches. Who timed you out? See, I'm going to go on, you guys, and redo all my mods. I don't know. If anyone got blocked, I'll unblock. If anyone got timed out for no reason, I'm sorry. I had a feeling this might happen, but I deserve an opportunity to say what I needed to say. Mona Lisa, he may be a scammer. I don't know anything about that. Benny and I haven't always gotten along. That's no secret. My only point is for people to, we always talk about due diligence and stuff like that with finding answers and doing research. And, that comes with just dealing with humans in general, right? We should do our due diligence. And, if someone tells us something about someone, go to that source and find out if it's true. Okay, Nana, yes, you do go everywhere you want because you were there that day that I got the wrench. And Nana, you haven't reached out to talk to me at all about it. You waited until I went live talking about it, and you come in here and you make a comment. I didn't. How does me getting a wrench change anything that I ever told you? It doesn't. Everybody sat there, oh, they're up to something. They're up to something. I get a wrench unexpectedly, and suddenly I'm the worst person in the world. Well, okay. I'm sorry that you feel that way. And it's not just like everyone. I know that. And the sad thing is there's other people that has a wrench on both those channels, Nana. Did you know that? There's other people besides me that have wrenches on both of those channels. And that's okay. But her friend of 6 months, that's not okay. So that, is a little confusing. But Nana, I had been sitting in his chat for months and months. So it's not about going right back. I had always been there. I just wasn't allowed to comment because I was blocked. But I'd always been there. And there's multiple people in there watching too. I guess the moral of the story is the punishment didn't fit the crime. I was a friend. I was owed a conversation. But like I said, it wasn't the first time it happened to me. It was the second. The first time it happened, I made a comment in Libby's chat when a bunch of crap was happening to her, and I made some comment basically like something about a cycle, saying, isn't it funny when all the crap you dish out now comes full circle? And then in Penny's chat, I said hi to a couple of people, and then I made a comment about something, and I got blocked and iced out then too. And we were all in that chat. The only difference is I commented. So it's not like you guys keep saying that I'm going back here and going back there. Well, you're all there too. You're just not making comments. Hey, Toaster Oven. Hey, Roxy, Pindar. I saw you guys come in. Charlotte Ann. And Nana, don't get me wrong. I have no ill feelings towards any of y'all. Not even Tiffany. I don't wish anybody ill will. It's. And in a way, Nana, I felt burned too. So put yourself in my shoes for a second. I mean, I know that's hard to do sometimes when people, like, they have their opinions about something. It's hard to take a step back and put yourself in someone's shoes. But that's what this experience has made me do. I'm not a stupid person. I'm very intelligent. And I'm very aware of things going on around me. Mommy. Hang on one second. All right, sorry. I'm a kiddo. So, I don't even remember what I was talking about now. My dog tried to run off. But I guess it made me step back and realize that some things just aren't worth the conflict. Choose your battles. To me, that wasn't battle worthy. That was have a conversation with your friend worthy. That was express your feelings in a non hurtful way to your friend worthy. That wrench didn't change me, but that wrench also doubled as a flashlight. So I got a magic wrench. I mean, you got to make light of the situation and see it for what it is. A few people disappointed me over that. I got over it. I was over it. No big deal. Living my life, they're living theirs. But last week, that was uncalled for. The shit that was said about me was uncalled for. Because I was just texting to let the girl know that there's someone going around saying that her string caused their sister to cut herself. That's not right. I don't think that's right in any situation. And, friend or enemy, if I see that, I'm going to let you know because that's not cool. That's not cool to go around and start rumors and say that someone hurt themselves and it's all someone else's fault. That's serious. And unfortunately, we do have a lot of people in this community who have suffered all types of abuse, whether it be emotional, physical, sexual, verbal. It's, we got to be more careful. We have to take other people's feelings into consideration. We have to get over ourselves long enough to do that. And I've done it before. I'm guilty of it. I'm not above anyone. Oh, Izzy, I'm glad that, Izzy, like, a lot of people look at Benny's staple mods and think that they're horrible people. And this is, don't get me wrong, I feel like I have to explain everything because if I don't, then people are going to just take it and it's going to be so misconstrued. I have to separate those ladies from issues I may or may not have had with Benny in the past and look at those ladies as individuals and get to know them. And that's what I'm doing. I love making my chat rounds. I love talking to people. I love making jokes with people and making people laugh when they're having a bad day. Sometimes, that could be all it takes for someone's bad day to turn around is for just one person to show them kindness and grace and mercy, for them to give them a little smiley face emoji or a little heart or little prayer hands. Because for some people who don't have anyone in life or were who are in a bad situation in their real life, sometimes that's all people need is that one act of kindness. And it can turn their entire day around. And that's the kind of person I've always been. And that's the kind of person that when I said I started to lose part of myself, that's what I meant. It was said that in that stream where I was vague that I made the statement that I got caught up with all the wrong people. I never said that. What I said was I found myself doing things that I didn't necessarily agree with. I was doing a lot of defending and a lot of trolling and a lot of attacking on behalf of someone else, but no one was there doing it for me. If I would have caused a scene in that chat and said, take this wrench right now, all of the other mods that happened to be watching at that time, would any of them have spoken up and defended me? Because, I would have been there on my own. Probably not. Nana, of course you get to say your piece. I Nana, you know how to get a hold of me if you want to talk. I mean, I still see you guys around. I'm in AB's chat all the time. I just don't ever talk because who the hell wants to sit there and try to chat in a live stream and have all the people who you spent all your free time with just ignore you like you never existed? It's not right. So I don't say anything, but I'm always there listening. So if any of those people want to reach out to me, then they know how to get a hold of me. I don't expect it, so I won't be let down if it doesn't happen. And it's not about swaying anyone to my side. I don't have a side. I can stand alone. You can love me or leave me. You can like me or not. You can agree with me or not. I'm not going to hate anybody for it. Sorry, I was watching the chat. Okay, so the chat's getting a little heated, and I don't want that here. You guys, if any of y'all have issues with each other, I don't even know what that whole lady sleuth issue is. I really don't care. From this point forward, as far as chasing justice goes, tomorrow's a brand new day. You always have another chance to do better and to start over. Every day that you're blessed with the ability to open your eyes, you have a chance to do better. So I just wanted to clarify a few things. I didn't take it upon myself to message anyone to have them unblocked. That was a situation that happened. Something about another mod, which is a whole nother story in itself. And I'm not even going to go there because that was like another knife to the gut. I'm here for the cases. And it was also said before I end this part, it was also said that I abandoned Lisa Key. Well, no, I'll never abandon Lisa. In fact, the week prior, I had just done a stream with Lisa. She was up on my panel. I'll always be there for her. I talk to her a couple of times a week, usually, except when finals and stuff are going on. We text and talk, and there's good things happening with Aaron's case. So, you guys keep praying because the prayers and the exposure and everything is working. Um, she called me with some really good news the other day. It's nothing I can talk about right now because, it's kind of in the beginning stages, but it's very good news. It's some very important, talented, and skilled people are picking up and doing good things for this case. So I'm hoping to get justice for him. Mods, if y'all are in here, please don't argue with each other. So we're going to talk about something a little more light. We're going to talk about Ernie Shell. Because by God, just a week ago, he sold that Operation Rescue Our Children. And now he has to redo the whole thing. New name, new everything, new channel. But he needs money to do it all, right? Everything is something new that he needs donations for. First, he needed to be bailed out of jail. Then he had his $100 memberships for the medallions that would take 4 to 6 weeks. But now those medallions are not coming because the domain name was purchased. So he's got to start from scratch. But you would think that just the face of the organization or a board member wouldn't be, tasked with having to do all of that, right? The new owners of the organization should do all that. Yes, there is, Nana. There absolutely is. I'm not going to say their names on here, but there is. You just have to watch the chats. There is. Um, so he needed bail money. He got bonded out, $5,000 cash bond. Now, if people aren't familiar with how a cash bond works, the state of Kentucky is smart. There's only a handful of states that still implement the cash bond. I think it's a great idea. I wish my state would do it. Kentucky is a commonwealth, and there are no bondsmen. I think in certain circumstances, they'll allow it, but it's very rare. The reason they want cash bonds is because they're hoping that it will minimize minor crimes, um, which has its benefits. The county jails aren't overcrowded. When things, you don't have to have the 10%, he had to have the full 5K just to get out. And what they do is they take any court costs, any fines and fees out of whatever your bond was. So say he had $2,500 in court costs and fines he had to pay, they would deduct it from that 5,000. Whatever's left over, he'll get back. Now keep in mind, whatever he gets back, the right thing to do would be to, divide it up among the people that donated any money at all and give them their money back. That would be the decent thing to do, but I know that's not going to happen. The membership money. Now, before he went to jail, he said that he had almost sold out of the $100 membership options. And with the $100 memberships, you were going to get a Rescue Our Children medallion, about 2.5 inches, gold, real cool, real cool. You're going to get an autographed picture of Little Big Ern in his photoshopped arms. And you would get your password to be able to log into the Rescue Our Children website for your general awareness classes, situational awareness, and all that jazz. Then there was something else you would get. A t-shirt? I don't remember. There was another little perk that you would get. A chip for your head, maybe. Well, now he's saying he still has a lot of $100 spots open, but as of today, he can't do the memberships because YouTube broke him. YouTube put a, a wrench into everything, and he has to shut it all down. He can't have his memberships. He can't have his website, his channel. We just ruined it all. We're so mean. He also was going to make a action figure. A little Ernie Shell action figure. And see, now he has all these legal fees because, from my understanding, he is going to sue 22 different people for defamation, slander, mental anguish. I don't know. Not only is he going to sue 22 individuals, he will also be going after some of the individuals' places of employment. I think Michigan State University is one of them. He's going to be suing the employers for employing such ill-mannered people. He doesn't think that they should employ people like that, so he's going to take them to court. He claims that he was told he's going to win about $750,000 off of the YouTube bullies. He's got him a little PayPal set up now, because his Cash App got all messed up because he was doing all that scammy stuff and people reported it. So he's got him a little PayPal now, and it's crap. What is it? That's what my banner is making fun of. Is his legal thing. I don't know. Put it in the chat if you remember what his thing is. Something legal 2022 or something. Barbie stalker. Yeah. So he wants people to send money to fund all of these lawsuits. But here is the catch. Ernie has a public defender for his pending theft and criminal mischief charges, which means Ernie's not paying him for his services. The state of Kentucky is paying for Ernie's defense team. When you have a public defender, the state of Kentucky is not going to be happy with him raising money for a civil suit when he can't even pay for his criminal suits and cases. He also has some outstanding fines from years ago that he needs to. Oh, yeah, Lawyer Up 2022. Well, my banner says donate to me, not earn 2022. Y'all don't have to. I just thought it was funny. So when the state of Kentucky finds out that he has won all this money just sitting in this Cash App, PayPal, whatever these people paid for these memberships, whatever avenue they used, they're not going to be happy if he's got, like, you figure, he said he had $100 spots open. If he sold all of those, that's $10K. So that's a good chunk of change for someone who has no bills, no car payment, no insurance payment, no utilities, no, as far as I know, probably the only thing he pays for is food sometimes and his phone bill. Of course, he has like 7 phones, so who knows? But that's a good chunk of change. That would cover his attorney for his criminal cases. What he should do, instead of going back and getting continuance after continuance, he should just suck it up, Buttercup. Take the lumps that are coming to you, serve your time, admit your wrongdoing, throw yourself on the mercy of the court, and call it a day. And then when you get out of the clink, start fresh and do better. Not only is he soliciting money for his legal fees because he wants to sue all of us, he's not soliciting money to help his son buy a car. He has a teenage son who is of driving age who really needs to get a car. So instead of soliciting thousands of dollars to take YouTube people to court, I would be more than happy to throw him a couple of bucks to send to his son. Of course, I would send it directly to his son. So he raffled his hat off. I don't know how much he earned in actual raffle because at the 11th hour, he changed it to an all-in type thing. All you had to do is put your name in and you might win the hat. Somebody won the hat. Team Rose won the hat. Team Rose was one of his biggest supporters up until this morning. Of course, their little spat they had was like a bad telenovela. It was awful. I went and checked out Team Rose's channel because she was not happy with me yesterday. She really wanted me to support Ernie, but I can't. I can't support someone who's doing just like 423 Chase did, out here begging for money for everything under the sun and not using the money for any of that. Hi, Sky Purple. Welcome. Yes, Hakuna. She is the one from Dolly's. So, Ern also says there's a list, a suspect list, suspected of being involved in the disappearance of Summer Wells. Somehow I made that list. I don't know how. I haven't been to Tennessee since I was 6 years old. We've driven through there a couple of times, but no, I'm not involved in any kind of trafficking or organized crime. I haven't taken a ride in a big yellow U-Haul with a freezer in the back. I don't own a plane. I don't know Tim Mullins. None of that. Never done anything like that. But I'm on the list. Well, apparently I've been on this list for a while, yet not one single investigator has reached out to me to question me about anything. I don't know who else is on this list. I know a few people. I mean, hell, all the creators that have spoken out against him have made it on that list. He said we're all on there. I'm not sure. Did his Cash App get shut down today? I thought it was shut down a while back. I know he was really pushing that PayPal. He wanted PayPal only for his legal campaign. He only wanted you to send money PayPal, and I'm sure he wanted you to send it friends and family. He said something like PayPal's just easier to deal with and blah, blah, blah. Well, it's also because you can earn more on PayPal before you actually have to claim it. With Cash App, it's like $500-$600 that you can make before you have to claim it. I think with PayPal, it's a lot more. So yeah. People need to be aware of the inconsistencies and the untruths, the harm that Ernie's done. When you hear him talk about all these great things he's doing, like trying to save children and rescue them, and the way he tells the story the first time you're hearing it, you would think, man, this guy's amazing. He's in his 30s, late 30s, and he's done all these things. He stormed the Capitol. He knows the Trumps. He's had task force and, just all kinds of stuff. Kentucky Colonel, which, by the way, he is a Kentucky Colonel. I emailed their office. I think Nicolina posted it. He is a Kentucky Colonel, but their exact words were they do not condone his behavior or his organization, which basically says if they could snatch that certificate back, they would in a heartbeat. So he hasn't done a fraction of the things that he claims to do. Hold on. Oh, Bridget. Bridget, I've actually been on Ernie's crap since he sat there and laughed and acted all creepy over the meth crotch story that Tina and Gigi were pushing. That was the day that I got all over Ernie and started looking into him. So, how many people, I've seen people say that they've given this guy thousands and thousands of dollars. Team Rose said that She gave like $600 plus Pindar. It's because I haven't taken any wrenches away since all this happened. It wasn't like when all this happened, I didn't just run and take everyone's wrenches away. So I kind of wanted to see who I needed to take them from, and now I know. But they've given him hundreds and hundreds of dollars at a time. He did the hat raffle. Team Rose said, no, that hat is too valuable, too meaningful to you. That's like a lucky hat, and you need that hat to do your crap, whatever it is you do. And so he kept the hat. Well, now it looks kind of shady because here you got, people were saying, I don't know if it's true or not, but people were kind of putting two and two together saying that, it was all a scam for money, and that Team Rose and Ernie, and they said Dolly was, I don't know. I haven't really watched Dolly that much, but they said that the three of them were in on it together, that, he was never going to give the hat away. It was just a ploy to get money. Well, I knew that hat was never going to leave his possession. He was going to keep that hat. I had a feeling that the story would be it got lost in the mail or something like that. And yes, Hakuna, that's true. Maybe she didn't want them to have her address, because that's always been a concern of mine with Ernie, especially, is these people having all of these vulnerable people's address, right? Because we all saw what he did in the beginning to Savannah and a few of his other mods back when he was requesting that his mods send two forms of identification. So everyone's always been nervous about them having their information after that. You guys YouTube tells you in the live chat, protect your identity. It says it right there. So for people to demand that someone give two forms of identification over just to be a mod on their channel, that's crazy. No one should ever do that, and only buy merchandise and stuff from people you would feel comfortable having your address. Like, don't just send every random weirdo your address. So that could very well be why Team Rose didn't want the hat, because she did say this morning something about, she was really against meeting up or whatever. She didn't want to do that. So, so he's got this case that he's going back to court for on the 11th. He says he has it beat, though, because it was a setup. YouTube set him up. I think he said Benny was the mastermind. He told the police he was carjacked. Then he retracted that statement and said, no, I wasn't carjacked. And then he said, yes, I was. Wow. Hold on. Okay. So he's in a world of hurt. He doesn't realize it. He thinks that he has got this locked down tight. He's going to walk out of there free as a bird. Carol, I support multiple people. Am I an avid supporter that if I felt like he was doing something that wasn't right, if he and I were to have a conversation about it, I would tell him, look, I don't agree with the way you're doing this, but he's never asked my opinion, and I don't push my opinion. Again, if you were here in the beginning, just because you see me in a chat, and that's any chat, not just his, talking to people, that doesn't mean I agree with everything the creator's saying. We're all adults. We should be able to choose who and what we want to listen to. So back to Ernie. He's just so convinced that he's going to walk in there with this setup story and, everything's going to be fine and dandy. Going to go home that night for dinner. But I don't think that's going to be the case. He's facing a felony theft charge over $10,000. And these people at the courthouse and stuff, they're not stupid. I mean, I know that, people have probably called and said, hey, you watch this. He's made some very bold and incriminating statements. They're talking about, like, we're putting sound frequencies in the chats and backstage when you try to go up on a panel. If we don't say I'm not saying we, I've never tried to go on Ernie's panel. But if there's someone in the backstage and they don't say anything, Tina just told him last night that they're putting sound frequencies in there to try to hack him and mess with him and stuff. That's crazy talk. That's not helping her friend. Tina and Xander claim to love Ernie. He's like family. They would do anything in the world for him to help him. But they're telling him all this stuff that gets him all wound up and just going in a direction that's not going to help his case at all. It's not going to help anything. It's going to make it worse. He has court tomorrow for harassing communications in Floyd County. Wow, I didn't know about that. So just people be wise when it goes to giving your money to people when they're trying to raise money for a personal cause. Look at all the things he's promised that he hasn't delivered. All these general awareness classes that were supposed to be happening on his channel. I think he showed one little video, and then one of the most disgusting things I ever saw him do, and it was heartbreaking to witness, was when he did what he did with Summer's pictures. And when you look at the obvious, when you have someone telling you that they're for protecting children and getting them out of harmful situations like that, and then they put the child's picture as well as other children's pictures right up there on the screen and start pointing out what predators look at, and they don't even have the decency to cover the child's face or anything like that. I mean, when it comes to trying to give a lesson on what predators look for and things like that, you can give a verbal description. The point would have been made if he would have just said, when predators are online looking at children's pictures, they look for clothing that's too tight or too big, this and that. They don't put a child's picture up there and victimize the child in the middle of the lesson. This man has admitted to not doing one lick of research on Summer's case, but he keeps going back and forth on whether or not he's going to keep staying involved in it. I do remember the things that he said about Cash Garner, and I think that was absolutely disgusting too. A lot of people thought that was absolutely disgusting. But that doesn't, I mean, if people would have come to me and asked me how I felt about things, it would have never gotten to this point. But Arnie didn't do that. He put Summer's picture up there, and he did what he did, all in the name of teaching people about general awareness. He's not qualified to teach these classes. Everything, all the facts and stuff that he spouts out, you can go to Google and find all the same information. But he's a very good used car salesman. He doesn't have a home. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't, all he has right now is legal cases and no money to pay him. And now what he wants to do to supplement is sue a bunch of people. And he's doxed people. He's given out people's address. He's called people's jobs. He's done all kinds of stuff that shouldn't be done. But he's done it, and then he wants you to pay him for it. He wants you to pay to be a member and do this stuff with him and for him. So I think that our little community in the corner of YouTube needs to be aware of that. Arnie is like my comedic relief. You can always find something to laugh about when you listen to Ern. If he wasn't such a pain in the butt and such a creepy little man, he would be pretty funny. Putting his niece up there. Actually had his minor niece up there, which, that's his choice, I guess. It's his family if the mom approved it. But I think when you're sitting there telling a few hundred people that there's, thousands of predators active online at any given minute, and then you're parading your minor family member up there, it's kind of a contradiction. Like, wouldn't you want to keep your minor family members safe if there's all these people watching? Because a lot of the little lessons he gave almost seemed like a handbook for the pervs online. It was like he was giving people step-by-step instructions. And, he talked a good game about wanting to do better and stuff. People felt bad for him and they sent money and helped bail him out. I thought that I was giving him the benefit of the doubt and thought he might come home from jail a little bit humbled and he would hear like the story Tina was trying to spin, because Tina did show, his intake form, allegedly, that said there, he's like, look, this is the medical intake and it's no drugs. Here's the signature. They don't do that when you check in to the jail hotel. They'd be there all night testing people. I do have my reasons, Mona Lisa. I have my reasons, and my friends were aware of those reasons. Also, Benny's not bothering me. I'm not bothering him. But that seems to bother a lot of people. So I don't know, like, just because I'm not out here screaming and throwing fits about people, there's still things that he's done that I don't agree with. He's probably going to do things in the future I don't agree with. And the same goes with me. I'm probably going to do things he doesn't agree with. So now Ernie gets out of jail, and instead of being humbled and being a man and getting his life together, he's running with the setup story. But we all saw it play out on live. We saw what happened. Trust me, if he would have gotten carjacked, as soon as he got away, he would have went on live and said, "You'll never believe what just happened to me." He would have done it. That article that he paid someone to put on a website says that what he hopes to get from this is a TV show or a movie. Those were his exact words. That's what he wanted from it. That's what he wants. He's seeking fame and recognition. He wants to be famous. He wants to be Dog the Bounty Hunter. I mean, he talks about it all the time. Sponsors and legal teams and publicists and all of that. Well, how are you paying all of these people to do all of this stuff for you when you don't have any money? You're having to get donations for every aspect of your life, but you're out here paying legal teams and publicists. I mean, he just said a few days ago he sold Rescue Our Children. So where did all that money go? So when you're looking at someone who's asking for donations for things, that's the kind of stuff you have to look at. You have to really, I mean, he tells on himself on a daily basis. And I'm tired of seeing subs and viewers get pulled in 100 different directions, giving their last dollar for some of these BS causes. And they say it too. They say, this is my last $5. This is my last $2. Don't ever make your own family do without in order to let someone else be comfortable. Don't take your last dollar and give it to someone who may or may not really need it. And be mindful with your money. I'm not telling anyone how or where or when to spend their money. That's between them and God. Just be aware, because there are people who will scam. There are people who will make things up in order to get a little money, to play on people's emotions and garner sympathy. Anytime the heat's on Ernie and he ends a live stream, when he comes back, 9 times out of 10, he comes back with like a sad story. You know, they've done this to me now, or this is broken, and I lost all of this. He comes out of the gate making it emotional and personal. Well, Mona Lisa, he tried to dox me too, but it was the wrong person. Everyone's doxed people. I mean, some of the people crying about being doxed have doxed people. That seems to be the new trend lately, is doxing people and calling the police on people. It's not something I do, and I don't agree with it in a lot of situations when other people do it. But at some point, you know, if there's something serious or the police need to know an important piece of information, like that shit show that went down last night with the whole Rose thing, yes, there's some certain situations where if you have information, then I think if you go about it the right way and you don't bombard agencies with calls, you know, not everybody needs to make a phone call. But no, like using CPS and the police and all that and weaponizing them against creators and subs and viewers, no, I don't agree with that. But Ernie will play on your emotions. It's a manipulation tactic for him. He's trying to make everyone see him as a human and get an emotional attachment. And then after he's buttered everybody up, bam. I'm not asking you to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But if you'd like, here's my PayPal or here's my Cash App. I've just got to get this legal stuff done and taken care of. So he always throws in a problem that he's having. Ernie could be a good person if he wanted to be. I think that his best bet, and this is my opinion, I think that that trio, Ernie, Tina, and Xander, is a bad mix. I think Ernie needs to learn how to stand on his own 2 feet, get a job. He says that he's got a brand new contract and he's going to be working a full-time contract. and all that stuff, but I'm sure he'll still be on YouTube 2, 3, 4 streams a day. But I think that would be good for him. I think that he will serve a little time for these charges. I think he's a little too comfortable in thinking that he's gotten him beat. Um, because Bolt has a strong case against him. He didn't return the van, point blank. That's what it boils down to. He was the one that was responsible for that van, and he didn't follow through with his end of the bargain. And let's not forget now, the van that he allegedly stole looked nothing like that van that he was showing all those pictures of with all that equipment inside. And he said he was going to work on the border, helping children down there and delivering supplies and stuff. But that's not what he was doing. He was making multiple deliveries to different businesses. I don't know what happened. Somewhere along the line, he got a hold of something, or he had a breakdown, and he ended up going to jail. But why should YouTube viewers have to pay for that? And I know it's a choice. It's a choice if people want to help out. But, I mean, when you're already getting money for criminal charges and now you want money to sue people, if you want to sue people, this is what you do. First, he would have to establish jurisdiction for all 22 of those people, which means he has to find out where each person lives. He would have to then work with that state's law enforcement and find out the process of filing a lawsuit there. He has to validate everything. He has to prove that the things being said about him are false. They're false allegations. And even though he's already deleted a lot of his videos and a lot of the stuff he's put out there, everyone has it. Everyone records everything. It's still out there. There's video proof of different things he's done. So to have a video out there showing the things that people are saying he's doing, it's not going to hold up in court if he goes and tries to file a civil suit when it's right there in front of their eyes that yes, he did those things. He has to prove that the things being said about him have caused some kind of detrimental effect in his life, like job loss, loss of income, mental anguish. What you can't do, though, and this is very important, what you cannot do is accuse someone of slander and defamation and harassment and then be the aggressor. Because when you accuse someone of that and then you still continue to be the aggressor, then everything's out the window. Your lawsuit you're trying to file is null and void. You can't keep pushing people's buttons and starting crap with them and then turn around and try to take them to court. It doesn't work like that. There's no doubt in my mind that people have said and done horrible things to him. I've made fun of him and joked about him. But he's done a heck of a lot to people too. So it would be nice if people would take all that into consideration. You guys just hang on to your money. When it comes to Ernie's court stuff, I mean, maybe you might hate someone so much you want to donate to him so he can try to sue him. But it'll be a waste of time, because what he could do is in some states, he can file a suit and ask whoever he's suing to pay the court costs. But keep in mind, there's a catch. There's always a flip side. if he takes someone to court and he loses, then the person he takes to court has a right to turn around and ask him to pay their legal charges. So there's always the fine print and the loopholes that are there that he probably hasn't looked into, because he gets his legal advice from Tina. He says he's been talking to a lawyer, but then yesterday he said he doesn't have one. So I don't know. You never can tell. Has anyone in the chat been victimized by Ernie? I know he's doxed a lot of people. You know, I feel bad for him. I think he needs serious help. I think that, yes, he absolutely has been through some traumatic stuff in his life. You know, he's got a brother in prison for murder. He doesn't have a strong family bond. There's no doubt in my mind that he has things that have happened that affect him. And I wish that he would ask for donations to get help like that, for some positive changes, not donations to attack other people. We don't all have to come together and be best friends. We don't all have to come together and like each other. We don't all have to come together and share information or go on panels together or anything like that. But at what point do we realize that we're all human beings? We all have feelings. We all, we're all going to do things our own way. I'm at a place of coexisting. I don't have to be friends. I don't have to be arguing with people. I'm more than capable of just coexisting. I go in chats all the time where I may not like the creator one bit. They're just not for me. But they have viewers in their chats that I'm friendly with, that I enjoy talking to. And I don't mind sitting in a live stream or popping in a live stream to say hi to someone. What's the harm in that? When you look at the bigger picture, that's really a minor thing. What right do I have to get mad at someone because some people that they talk to in chats or in a chat of a creator I might not like? So I'm just supposed to tell my subs, no, you can't go there and don't comment? I don't consider that a knife in the back. I consider someone stabbing me in the back a knife to the back. There has to be like a concrete incident, not just that they commented somewhere. And I'm not just talking about what happened to me anymore. I'm done with that. I'll just deal with whatever shitstorm comes of it. I'm not going to react to it though. So, but I've seen it happening to other people in all kinds of chats, and I don't know. I always try to live by don't sweat the small stuff. That wrench, that digital wrench that gives people the ability to delete comments and block people. You have to make a decision. Am I going to trust that this person isn't going to misuse their wrench like what was done in here earlier? But I'm called the bad friend. After this happened, I still had a wrench on her channel for a few days. I didn't go in there and do any foul stuff. I wouldn't do that. Nobody's the boss of us but ourselves. We're the boss of ourselves. Nobody's paying me to do anything. Nobody's, bribing me. Nobody's manipulated me. Nobody's threatened me. And if I get burned because I didn't throw a tantrum and throw that wrench back, then that's on me. But I'm really not worried about it. I'm just not. I enjoy my time in people's chats. I like opposing opinions and different opinions than the ones I have. I've always said that. I said that in my stream after the fundraiser incident. I said, life would be very boring. It would be like white rice if everyone had the same opinion. It's not about having differing opinions. It's about being adult enough to handle your differing opinions in an appropriate way. That's the important part. So, I'm going to start winding it down. I know a lot of people are going to start going live. So, if anyone, about what happened last night with the Rose thing. I don't know Miss Daisy. I subbed to her a couple of weeks ago. I enjoyed listening to her, but last night that crossed a lot of lines. I read the comments and everything that are left on the stream. I think she should take the stream down. I honestly do. Enough damage was done with it last night. We all saw that photo and talked about it and debunked it months ago. I think the respectful thing to do would be to take that stream down and just, make amends with some people. A lot of people are attacking her. And I get it. I get the anger and the outrage and the frustration. A lot of things could go wrong with that. We need people out there looking for Rose. Going out here and broadcasting it that she's still alive and well and just, wanted a new life, that's not okay. Her children could run across that stream. And how devastating would it be for those girls if Hey, now I'm back. Okay, sorry. My laptop died and my phone only had 8%, so I had to hurry up and come plug it in. But anyway, what I was saying is with that situation, that could be a horrible thing for the girls to run across. No child should ever run across a stream and or anything on social media for that matter and walk away from it feeling like their mother didn't love them or want them or care enough to stay. you know it the way it was presented, it almost sounded like the way, from what I gather, they said that she left because she was in fear, from her abusive family, her sister and her mother. Well, you're married, you have your own life, your own home with your children. You're out of that situation. You don't have to pick up the phone when they call. You don't have to go visit. If they show up on your doorstep and they want to argue with you or anything that could escalate to violence, you don't have to participate, right? You don't have to open the door. You have the option to call the police, who take an oath to protect and serve, to come protect you from that. You have your own thing going. You're no longer in an abusive household. From what I understand, her husband, I've seen Christopher in chats. He was understandably frustrated and upset last night when he was in that chat, and I would have been too. He was treated poorly. Hey, downtown Trina. Hey, Mimi. Is it Mimi? Am I saying it right? Well, welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself in this chat. I try to keep a smooth chat. I like a smooth, happy place. So he was not treated with respect last night. It was said it's not the real guy, it's not really him. Um, and his comments were removed and he was timed out or blocked. I mean, it was just bad. It was just bad. And these girls do not need to run across this stream by chance. Anything's possible, right? Someone could share it. Someone could, use it as content and tag the name. And then when these girls go on social media and they Google the name, it'll come up. And that's not fair to them. They've been through enough with not having their mother in their life. And, he's always been very good about protecting them. I've seen him say that in a chat before, that he's just trying to move on with life and take care of his children. I'm sure his heart breaks for them too. I just thought the whole thing was in poor taste. It was presented like it was fact. There was mentions of it being opinion, but it was always followed up with, it's my opinion and I know it's her, but it's not her. And that's what's sad. It's not her. She's still missing. So, for the love of all things holy, if anyone knows any information about the whereabouts of Rose Bly, please contact the FBI or the Polk County Sheriff's Office, who is handling that case. And the same with Summer. I think that Summer's case, bless her sweet little heart, I wish that she would be found. I really do. The impact that this case has had on people, it's just mind-blowing. I've never reported on her case, but I've followed it since day one. I remember when the Amber Alert came out. Hang on. So, of course, she needs to be found. We all want her found. It's time to put all of our differences aside and just get the job done. These victims need our voices. And I absolutely hate that not one, but two victims' mothers were pulled into a dramatic situation. It was just bad. And yes, Linda had a big part to play in all of that from what I've heard on my end from my friend Lisa. I've heard her version of it. And then I heard a little bit of what was said on the panel that day before she hopped down. I don't want to know about all the fake agents. Anything that happened months ago that doesn't involve me, it's not going to involve me now. Like I said, every morning that we're blessed to open our eyes and get through the day is another opportunity that we have to do better and do things differently. I don't have to be out here fighting with everybody. This is the biggest conflict other than the conflict I had with Benny, which I started that. Remember, I started it. But this is the biggest conflict that I've ever had with anyone on YouTube. So that should tell people something. I don't make it my mission to come out here and screw people over. We're all human. We all have feelings. We all have opinions. And if you can't come on social media and be social and share those opinions and observations and have conversations, then what's the point of being on social media? Social is the operative word. I mean, crap. I have a mod that I'm very close to who is still a mod over on her channel. And I still talk to this person every day, despite the fact that she's a mod over there. But that's just how I handle things. I'm not going to throw my friend away over that. And Tiffany, you can go on here and say whatever you want about me. But you and everybody else that I used to sit in those voice chats with for hours know that I was a good friend to you. What if in that moment I needed a friend? Do you think that you were a good friend to me? No. You weren't worried about me at all. The only thing anyone was worried about is how it would look if I was a mod for both of you. But you do have mods, one or two that I know for a fact that I've seen that are a mod over there too. And you have lots of members who are members over there. I'll never tell anyone where they can be a member. I don't have to agree with where you join memberships either. I didn't want to have to come out and talk about this because, like I said, not everything has to be turned into content. But, man, I thought that I was, just doing a courtesy by texting her and let her know that someone was spreading rumors that her stream caused their sister to cut themselves. She didn't have to reply or anything. There didn't have to be a conversation. But I'll never do that again. I'm sorry. If someone says something that's rumory, I don't know. Yes, Dukes, I do want fairness. And I try to have a good heart. I try to treat people with the same level of respect and kindness and understanding that I would want to be treated with. I'm 46 years old. I'm not here for the cat fights and shit like that. That's not who I am. Now, don't get me wrong, I have a temper. I'm a fiery Leo. And yes, I can make some snarky comments. I've done it. I admitted that earlier. And I also apologized for it. Sometimes you guys suck it up, take accountability for what you've done, admit your mistakes, and apologize. An apology goes a long way. It goes a long way with me. It may not go a long way with everyone, but I love a heartfelt apology. I know I'll never get it because apparently I'm the bad guy in all this. So whatever, I'll be the bad guy. But I do appreciate each and every one of you who came here to watch. I'm sorry if the chat got out of hand for a little bit. Some people that I've talked to about being a mod, I'm going to get the mod situation straightened out. If anyone was blocked, I apologize. I only blocked one person today. I don't know. I mean, I'll admit it. If it's, something to make fun of me about, so what? Make fun of me. I got emotional throughout this. Shit's going too far with people. Too friggin' far. And for what? For what? My problems with people don't have to be everybody else's problems with people. And I don't ever want any of my subs or viewers to feel like if I'm having an issue with someone that they can't go be a part of that person's stream. The only time it's going to become a problem for me is if there's some shady stuff going on, or and you just have to be careful. Guard your heart, guard yourself. So, but I'm going to get off here because it is almost 7:00 here and it's time to start getting these kiddos to bed. It's been a long day. So yes, I appreciate you being here. I wish that it would have gone better. I was hoping that some people could listen and take a step back and look at the situation for what it is. I could tell by the nasty things said to me that wasn't the case, and that's fine. Like I said, after today, I'm not talking about it anymore because tomorrow is a brand new day. It's a brand new day for all of us. I want to focus on the victims. I want to focus on the scammers. Ernie's funny. He's fun to pick on. It's not, that's like lighthearted poking fun at silly things. Even when I've called someone out for some crap, I still try to be respectful and factual about it. I'm not here just making stuff up to win people over to my side. There shouldn't be sides. There's so many sides now that you can't tell where one side ends and the other begins. But I will be seeing you guys in chats, and I appreciate all of you. Be kind to each other. Life's short, guys. You never know when you're going to get some news or something unexpected. And then suddenly the tomorrow that you thought you had never comes. So everyone have a great evening and hug your loved ones tight. And I will be seeing all of you soon. Bye.